Hello and welcome to another session of Sunken Hearts. Last time our characters returned or had returned back from the house, and then they returned to the house, and they found some other things in the house. And there was some discussion about next steps. Uh, we are, I think, Wednesday, I want to say, of that week. And we have then 4 days until Super Bowl Sunday. There were requests about excited about the party people, uh, uh, want more emo dates, um, want to talk with Rodrigo. Uh, so those are things that are kind of on the table. Uh, but let's do it once around because we kind of talked that we were going to do that start out that this time. And check in and see what people are doing, what they're looking into regarding the party, regarding recent events, regarding other things in their lives. Aldo, I think you are first chair today.
Okay. I would like to go see Songbird Rex.
Absolutely. Uh, and they will meet you at that same sort of cafeteria style cafe, a little bit dinery vibe that you have been at before. And she will be glad to see you and will will ask how you're doing. Everything going good? Good, going good.
Uh, Me? Yeah, I'm okay. Things have been weird. But when are they not, right?
Weird how?
Uh, so my friend wants to turn into a dragon. Uh, there's what actually I don't know if this is the greatest place to talk about this, but you you have some experience with like sinking. And what stopped you?
There are two. There are a bunch of paths to sinking. For some people, it's the isolation that they put themselves into, uh, the kind of shame of who they are as as memories of what they did and shame about what they are now. That's particularly true for people I have found who their history ties back to here. They came from here, or they have connections to here. Uh, uh, and people will burrow themselves away and they will sink down into things, embracing magic without realizing that they are, hurting other people without realizing that they are, and faking being around. And uh, then there are people who are the opposite. They try to do too much. They want to help everybody. They think that they've got to help everybody. They've got to do this. They've got to risk the powers. They've got to do this thing. They've got to sacrifice themselves. That's the only way, that's the only way that they can be worthy. Um, those ones are real dangerous because they're real hard to swerve them from that. Um, And then there are people who just have a really, really bad breakup. Um, and think about how bad a breakup is, and then like times that by 10 for us. Uh, we feel deeply. We try to find some shoal to wash up on, and when we do, it uh, it when that sand gets washed out from under us, it's hard. That was me, um, and that turned into that shame and she'll pat up the packet of papers. It was finding a like-minded group of weird fuckers who didn't judge you for it and like to talk about it and were very much who they were. I know it's online, which we're not supposed to mess with because who knows what's out there. But they've been a lifeline to me.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense.
What? Why are you asking? Are you okay?
I'm okay. I don't think I fall into any of those categories. Um, I'm just concerned about Marrow. I think he falls into the second category mostly.
Oof. He's a little threadbare as it is. I'd hate to see him spending himself on things.
Yeah. The thing is, he's good at it. Like he's got, more, I guess, innate abilities than most people, even, uh, even among us. But like, it doesn't mean he has to always be the one to do it. um, yeah, I don't know. Just concerned about him. So don't know of anything I can do other than like maybe, try to step in and do it first, right? Before we can.
Yeah, I don't know. The thing the thing that bothers me is I don't know what happens when you gunder for the last time. I I
Uh,
know the people have vanished, but I don't know what happens. Do they just disappear? Do they go back to the homelands? Do they change? I don't know. And I've never gotten a straight answer from anyone in the courts about what that means.
hmm. The people you talk to online,
Yeah.
I don't suppose any of them goes by Count Zero.
No, no, I know that name. If I've
Yeah,
interacted with him, it's not been by my choice.
yeah. I mean, I doubt they would use the well. I don't know how many layers of names they have, but I doubt they'd use that one. Uh, just the double thing. Let
Now,
me think
Count
about it.
Zero always had other identities, both online and in the real world.
Do you know what they were?
I just know that he did. I know that
Okay.
he had a gift for making what was it they call it, a legend and having it be real.
Yeah. Hmm. Um, thought maybe he might be responsible for the other you out there.
I hadn't thought about that. I mean, why would he doppelgang me?
I
Why
don't
would
know.
why would anybody doppelgang me? I don't know.
I don't know. I just know that he
That
could
is a
do
verb,
something
isn't it?
similar.
And
Sure, why
sure,
not?
you see her take a pen and like actually writes on the back of the package like doppelganger
It should
question
be
mark
if it
verb
isn't.
question mark.
And is doppelganging being the doppelganger, or is it being the person who
Ooh,
creates one?
doppelganging. You see her stop and think, oh, sorry, I just thought it's a storyline. Anyway,
Oh, it's a good one. Yeah.
so uh Suits party's gotten quite the buzz. Like it's not like the place where most of us can go. Like he's clearly just catering to the hoity-toity, huh?
I I I don't know. Is there a reason why most people can't go there? I don't
Have you seen
think
the
you have
country club
to
that he's got
pay.
the thing set at? Holy cow. That guy-
I mean, I don't think you have to pay to get in
No, no, no.
to a
It's not a
party. I think
question of
they're
pay to
running
get
it.
in. It's a question of them letting me on the grounds, I think.
Uh, I didn't even think about that. I mean, I've sort of volunteered to be like a bouncer, so I hope they let me on the grounds. If not, that's it's going to be hard to do.
I'm sure Mr. Suit has it already thought through.
I'm sure he does. That seems like his expertise.
I saw him last week when I was doing odd jobs and sweeping, and he was line dancing. Not 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 particularly well, but I had the sense that he was just learning. But yeah, he was line dancing.
I'm sure he will be very good at it by the time the party comes around. It,
I have no doubt that he seems like a professional kind of guy.
he ta- he takes the weirdest things seriously. Like most people, they either dance or not. And if they do, they just kind of go out there and have fun, right? And they don't care how good they are at it. I don't think he'll do it unless he's like has every movement down perfect.
All right. Well, thanks for visiting.
Uh,
And
um,
I hope that, and you see her kind of trail off. I hope that Allie is okay.
yeah, I'm gonna figure something out. You haven't seen the doppelganger around, have you?
Yeah.
Lately? Like where?
Oh, a couple of nights ago, I was out and I I was passing by a shop uh, that and they had some monitors running in the front. They were showing off uh, some games, and I saw them walk through one of those.
Through the monitor?
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Okay.
Uh I mean it sounds like it's connected to Cat Zero. Um I don't know why, but It sounds like their thing. What little I know about them.
No.
Um, it's very strange. Let's see what I can find out.
Okay.
And before this conversation ends, I would like to use Murmurs of Sorrow and roll steady.
Absolutely.
And because it's sorrow, I will use sorrow.
That makes
Makes
sense.
sense. 11.
So you've got two hold. What's your
Yeah.
first question? You can also make a declaration, and you also have your question.
Okay. Yeah, so um is she telling the truth about like not knowing Count Zero much?
Like she clearly the knowledge that she has is mostly sort of folkloric and rumor and things like that. But no, she doesn't know Count Zero directly. Yeah. So
Okay. Uh so it's one. Hmm. Uh well, okay, so what is her greatest sorrow?
that you don't look at her like you look at Ali Doja's.
Huh. That's uh that's funny because yeah,
Would you like to roll inner conflict now?
I would like to roll in her conflict now.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Uh,
What do you want to roll that with?
here. I think. I mean, I think it's joy.
Okay.
Uh, two.
Ooh.
I have lost that inner conflict.
So go ahead and mark joy. And she will kind of look up at you again and like maybe she's hoping for a particular reaction. And I think you're surprised and such. Whatever facial expression you've just put on is not what she was hoping for. And I think there is a moment where she kind of, well, should, and is kind of up and grabbed her packet and she is gone out the door.
Yep.
You have one more study question or even make a declaration.
Um, hmm. And, uh, I'll make a declaration.
Okay.
She leaves a couple pages behind.
Okay. You can grab those up. Mr. Suit, let's come to you.
Yes.
What do we see
Um,
you doing?
I think I want to go talk to Delulu.
Okay. You will head back over to the Court of Mirrors and call in again. Uh, this time, like, when you come in, they kind of wave you on through, like, oh, you're going to see Delulu. You're expected, kind of thing. And you will pop in. She is just putting her face on, and she will greet you. Mr. Suit, come and
Uh,
sit.
Thank you, thank you. I brought this for you, and I
Oh,
have a package, little box.
oh, and what is this? Is this a gift?
It is a bit of a gift, a bit of a preemptive apology.
Preemptive apology. Well, let me call and have tea brought in, and we'll sit and have a chat here. Should I open
Oh,
this up,
that's
or do you want to tell me what you're apologizing for first?
I feel like the oomph of a pre-apology is building up goodwill before any sort of negative emotions emerge.
Well, then, let me just tear into this thing. And she will rip it open in a less, she's very controlled and composed most of the time, but she tears it open like a 5-year-old and opens it up. What is in there, Mr. Suit?
It is the hand mirror that I got from the Goblin Market when I was going to Tinfoil Venice.
Ooh, it's a very striking piece.
It's, well, it was part of something complicated that there ended up being other doors. But I did think of you.
Well, I appreciate that. This is that hand mirror you got when you rolled the miss, by the way. Just thought I'd remind you about that.
Oh,
That's
hi.
fine. It's probably fine. It's from the Goblin Market. What's the worst that could happen?
Does it do anything? It feels
Uh,
like it's got a little bit of magic on it.
well, it's from a Goblin Market, so I assume it's been sunken somewhere.
But you don't have like any sense or description of what it does.
Well, that's they didn't sell a brochure. Well, they may have sold a brochure. A brochure was not included.
I wasn't asking for a brochure. I was asking more of a this thing explodes and kills people, or this thing will reflect light into people's eyes, or something like that. Like, did they say anything like that?
No, no, not particularly. He just gave
Just
a
you just bought a
very
mirror
self-side.
from the Goblin Market without finding out what it did.
Well, I told them that I needed one, and the goblin very helpfully smiled a broad, very self-satisfied smile, and said that he knew exactly what I needed.
Why not just set this
That's
thing? We just set this thing on over here off to the side. Uh, just sort of out of sight, out of mind for the moment here. Uh,
There was, I will admit, there was a lot that happened that day that perhaps I didn't fully examine the details of every interaction that I had. And I am like 90%, 95% sure that this is absolutely nothing. But if you do think that out of the corner of your eye or around a door or something, you see a uh, shambling sentient mound of blood and teeth, you should run.
well, I think that's good advice for any time, even without the mirror.
Fair enough.
Well, don't worry. If it should turn out that this is a malicious object, uh, then I'll just call up Blameless and have them come down and take a long, hard drink of it.
See, and I'm like I said, it's really I think I'm pretty sure it's just a mirror. It's got to be just a mirror.
Well, now that you've given me a potentially cursed item without a good sense of what it is that you were given when you didn't ask for exactly what you wanted at a Gaba market, what pray tell is it that you needed to apologize for? Because I'm very curious now.
Well, I just wanted to, uh, I needed to, I wanted to make sure that, well, I need to ask you some potentially unpleasant or prying questions, perhaps hurtful or seemingly cruel, but not from any place meant to hurt or be cruel to you, and I don't in any way compel or expect you to answer if you don't want
Oh, do go on.
to. Are you wearing a mask or is that your face?
Could you please roll? Stay strong for me.
Oh, goody. Calm. I am very calm. Everything is, we're just very rational people who are talking to each other about rational, reasonable things. Uh-huh. That's, well, I did one better than Aldo.
Mr. Suit, you have a brief span. I'm not even going to quantify it with seconds or minutes or moments for you to stand up, apologize, and leave my boudoir.
That is completely fair. I would
Yes.
a I would ask before I leave that you simply think on the question, do any of your fellows in the tops of the courts wear masks? I am very sorry for this entire interaction. I do hope you enjoy the mirror and that it does well. I hope that you enjoy the mirror. Goodbye.
And you will depart. And it is chilly in the building as you leave.
That
Uh,
went well.
yeah, as well as it could have. You get to mark XP. Infist.
Oh, well, good.
Lily Smythe's suit, who doesn't have their name in their overhead. And if you are talking, you're muted.
I was typing. I
Oh,
wasn't talking. That's okay. I'm sorry. So, it's been a lot of cheese balls, but I think I need to take a break. So probably we'll go also to Court of Suns.
okay. Who do you want to go see?
Um, I think Ms. Bosson first.
Absolutely.
I would take a cheese ball to her for her to try and also to critique the presentation in case there's something I can do that would make it better. But also I want to ask about the heads of the court. Just to see if like essentially just to get a sense of if anything is changed in a sort of time, or if I should be okay with speaking with Drummond and or perhaps, though I never have spoken, to Shining Sun.
So you arrive. She has her own little room made up. She, like as we've mentioned before, does a number of sort of the seamstress and tailoring and bits and things for people on the court. And it does look like she has some tables with things there, just because people are, have asked for alterations or
Mhm.
new bits for the Super Bowl party coming up, and so there's a lot of anticipation, excitement about that. So
Oh,
she's
excellent.
she's bedazzling a lot lot of things, and
Oh, I love I check out her tools. I myself am like still mostly a needle and thread and a little bit of the hot glue, but not very much. It's messy and prone to disaster. My
and
skill
yeah,
level's not up to hers.
she will have snacks brought in, and she will say, "It has been a while since you chatted by."
I've been ridiculously, unpredictably busy, and that I don't care for. I like being busy, but when everything is off kilter and I'm just one place and then the next, it starts to get tiring.
I can
And I'm
understand
not
that.
one to complain. I don't think. I don't know. So,
So, what is it that you have come here for? What is it
huh,
that you have on your agenda?
it's just, I'm new here in the
You are
sense of
not new here.
I have only been here 6 months.
Ah, no one has been here that long in the
Really? I
span of things.
was just wondering, like, the heads of the court? I don't even think I've even spoken to Shining Stellar themselves. But I talked to Drum and Kane. When did Drum and Kane come into becoming the hand?
I remember that there was a, gosh, did it be what, 3 years ago? Time is not great. I I always have to think about it. 3 years ago, when the previous Duke, uh, or rather the our Duke, previous hand, um, stole some things from the reliquary for their own use, and they got they got exiled.
Wait,
And
you can get exiled? That
yeah,
sounds horrible.
it is. Uh, you cannot. The road rises with you when you are exiled. You cannot stay in in a place with the courts for more than a day and a night. They can't come back here to Mobile, but it means that even if they go to some place like Nolans or over to Florida, one of the places there, they can't stay within their demesnes for more than a day and a night. They have to be on the road, and the roads are a dangerous place to be for people like us because you haven't probably done this. Have you tried to go inland?
Not any further than the trailer park.
Well, one of the nice things about here is there's a lot of wet around here,
Ooh,
but the farther you get away from water, uh, it's not good. I mean, and I mean, rivers count, lakes count, things like that. But if you're out in the middle of fields and things like that, a ways away, if you go out in the middle of nowheres, uh, it's easy for a kind of madness to grip you. You have to find your way back to it. Not a fun thing to be in such a way. But Drummond Kane, as I recall, at that point, uh, won a contest and took the position of hand.
I understand she enjoys a fight.
Yeah, you know, they understand play, they understand games, they like that kind of thing, and they're very good at them. We actually had to caution them because there was a bit of a time when they were dropping in on some of the high roller floating poker games around in town, and they caught a little bit too much heat. Now, but of course, I didn't tell you that.
No, no. And in all I can say is I can understand why there would have been a problem, but also it tells me a lot about Drummond.
Yep, they're a bit of
Hmm.
a gambler.
And but Shining Cellar has been there all along.
Shining Cellar was here before I arrived. You
Have they
understand that the oldest of us has only been here like, I think, 12, 13 years.
still that seems like a very long time to me.
Yeah, but I mean, you have to understand the turnover.
And there is turnover a lot, is
Yeah.
and we're changeable creatures too. Sometimes we get worse, sometimes we get better, sometimes we get more, sometimes we get less.
And yes. And sometimes we get hurt, and sometimes we die, and sometimes we go missing.
Hmm,
I think the oldest one amongst us at this point is Absalom.
maybe I should talk to Epsilon. No?
Well, your cheerful manner may may get you through, but uh, uh, you've met some of the other uh, the outsider folk. You met Commodore Pecky, you told me, right?
Yes. He seemed nice, like he was trying to keep
Oh,
himself safe, other people safe from him.
yeah, a little bit. Absalom's uh Absalom, as I understand it, time doesn't flow for him the same as it does for the rest of us.
Whoa, what does that mean?
I don't know, but he is he has seen a lot come and go, and he sees it's not like it runs faster for him. It's not like it runs slower for him. But as I understand it, uh, sometimes he lives in the splits
Like
where he lives
he's
through both flips of the coin before it comes back together. And when that happens with tragedy, he even if it hasn't happened in our world as tragedy, he feels it that way.
that seems like a lot of stress.
He he's uh we've almost lost him a couple of times. I know that, but he's
Hmm,
clawed his way back up from the pit.
that name, maybe the pit's a little more literal than I like to. In the time that you've known Drummond, have they had a big personality change? A small personality change?
They are malleable. I mean, mercurial. Uh, let's have you make a study roll.
Okay, I will. All I gotta do is find the roller again.
Find
So
the
here we go.
magical roller.
The magical roller that hates me so much. Okay. I love talking to Mrs. Basham, to Miss Basham, because she's the awesomest. Okay. I swear that's what I clicked on, and yet it's not good. Okay. So let's see. Here we go. This will work this time. Yes. All right. So I'm going to roll 2d6. I'm going to add 3 to it. We're going to see what happens. That's an 11.
Okay, you got 2 hold.
Yeah. So let's see here. Um,
Does she think that there has been a personality change in Drummond Kane?
yeah, like
No, I don't
no.
think so. I mean, if we're averaging the high and lows of a gambler, then I don't
Exactly.
think there's been a big swing.
All right. She hasn't like changed her demeanor particularly.
They haven't, no.
And how about we, because I don't want to startle her, just a thing of like going, like I'm trying to get the feel for things. And how about our leader?
Uh, Our leader is like all of the dukes, a little bit above and beyond where we are. They are
Mm-hmm.
in that position because they can manage the the ritual that's necessary, the holding of the seat, and they uh I think it would be hard for us to know if they had changed because they are folk that keep their own counsel in a lot of ways because they have to. So much of their energy is not given up to the kinds of things that we deal with, but with making sure that everything, all the contracts and such are in place and in order.
Didn't realize that. I thought that the Duke was just the hand, but older and more
No,
experienced.
no, no. The Duke the Duke is the one who sits on the throne for each of these courts. And they they stay there once they have that office until something goes wrong and they die, and then they're replaced. There have been
Nice.
some battles for control in the past, but it's not is a role with a lot of power, but it's a role that requires a lot of power. But they have access to all the old secrets of the place, all the old things in the reliquary, to the vaults and the dungeon.
It's a dungeon?
It's courts and castles. There's got to be a dungeon, doesn't there?
I didn't know.
I'm pretty sure that Broken Shackles has the key, that someone there is the jailer.
Hmm.
But I never said that.
No,
Now, I'm
and
smelling that cheese ball. So,
what do you think here? And she sort of finally takes it, unwraps it, takes the sort of there's plastic wrap over it, but then there's the tinfoil over it to keep it from you. She'll she'll take a
and
hold.
what is distinctive about this cheese ball, Lily?
Well, it is in fact shaped like a mini football, and it has a lovely stripe of like uh, of light, like she skinned the almonds and chopped those up, and there's like a stripes of those at each end of it, and then there's sort of the deeper roasted peanuts that are kind of on the other part of the outside of it, so it's got this kind of nubbly texture like a football has, and it's surrounded by a lovely sort of it's like a mini stadium that goes around, and all the crackers are sort of like sat in little seats and like little blocks of different kinds of crackers. And the field underneath is like lovely and green, but it's all kind of like not too bright, not too like it doesn't have that sort of party
All
look,
right.
but kind of very
This is quite the this is quite the miniature here.
mhm. She goes, I yes, I I always want to help Mr. Suit, but he's very unhelpful about how one should help Mr. Suit. So I went with something that tastes really excellent. Oh, you should try it. I think this is one of the better ones.
You should go and talk to, well, I know that you don't get on so much with Dandy Maine.
Uh, I I think that perhaps perhaps she has stepped on my foot a few times.
She can be that way, but she does her work isn't quite like this, but she does felicitous houses,
What does that mean?
doll houses.
Oh, hmm. Ah, well, yes. I could go and speak to her, perhaps ask if she has any suggestions for improvements.
Well, knowing her, she will absolutely have suggestions.
Hmm. I'm sure that they will strike straight to my heart.
Yes, yes. No, but this is lovely. This is lovely.
I, I hope it tastes good as well. All of them are different. So
Well, I
anyway,
assume this is an extra since you brought it here and put it before me.
oh yes. It was one that I had more of this cheese, but it's a particularly good one. So I did want to make sure that you had a lovely snack today.
That is more than generous. I'll have lunch sent for him. We can sit and nibble on this until it gets here.
All right, that sounds lovely.
Marrow, let's come to you.
Alrighty. Um, I have I went up a level.
Okay.
I popped my XP. Um, so I've come up with a custom move that I want to see if you approve. It's based on brutality, which is when a motley mate rolls a 9 or less on an inner conflict in your presence, you may clear a mood. And this is they need me. When a motley mate rolls a 6 or less on a stay strong in your presence, you may clear a sinking.
Well, I like that. It's pretty potent for a very situational move. Okay.
And it dropped the failure has to be a full fail rather than the 9 or less.
Since it is that, why don't we say inner conflict or stay strong?
Okay.
I think those two, there's enough of a kind of them struggling with something, and the 6 or less makes it so situational. But yeah, that sounds
All
good.
right. Cool. I don't know if it's enough to save me, but I feel like that part of my development at the moment is at least trying.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to go and see if I can find Mr. Suit.
Mr. Suit, you have come back from a meeting that did not go as well as you had hoped.
No, sub-ideal.
Absolutely. You are relieved because Puck did not ride in the car over with you and does not ride in the car with you back. But when you get back,
Wow, maybe he's died.
when you get back, Marrow will be kind of passing through. And do you kind of go up to his room, or do you wave him down, Marrow? How do you want to do this chat with Mr. Suit?
Suit.
Yep. No, I didn't.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello. It's nearly Sunday.
The party.
Yes. I was wondering, would you like to go to the venue? Have you settled on food? Should we do some things to make sure the party's going to be ready?
Yes, we should. I have some food, but not. There can always be more. Bet they probably have kitchens of
They do? Well, yeah,
some
yeah.
sort.
We could arrange for maybe them to do some catering. I know that
yes.
Lily has been going all out on cheese balls, so I think that we won't have to ask them for cheese balls.
That's I'll mark that. Good.
I don't know if she's picked up enough crackers, though.
What does she expect people to eat? No, not.
Well, I mean,
That's not the.
she's handling cheese balls. Someone else should handle crackers.
That's fair. We should. Yeah, let's head over now. You meant now?
Sure.
Good.
You want to
Wonderful.
ride on
Yes.
the motorcycle with me, or should we take your car?
Uh, I think we can take the car. What if we need to pick up supplies?
That makes perfect sense.
So, I may need your advice with something.
Really? Oh, I, you want my advice, Suit?
Well,
No, you've already said it.
no, yes. I mean, yes. No. Um, I I tried to tell Delulu about the whole Dukes and Masks things, and I think it did not go well. I don't think I brought the right gift.
What gift did you bring, and what did you say?
It was a very nice mirror.
Oh, I would think she would like that.
And then I tried to obliquely bring up the subject of masks. That did not go over well.
Obliquely, you say?
Yes.
What did you say exactly?
Well, I wanted to gauge her level of expertise, and I asked her if she was wearing a mask.
Do you perhaps see where she might have been a little offended by that?
But I worked very hard to set expectations. I warned her that it would be an uncomfortable question. I did not expect any answers that she did not want to give, and that I meant no offense or harm by it.
Well, that would cover most of the bases.
She seemed to
Um,
take a lot of offense.
but she didn't try to kill you.
She did not immediately try to kill me.
Well, if she kills you, then we'll know she's probably one of the she's probably the the one.
Yes, well, it's just it was a 1 in 4 shot. We have to try something.
Okay, I agree.
I don't think we can really push it with any of the other hands. Maybe a Duke.
I've thought about speaking with my lady Bayman. I don't know if I was going to flat out say, "Hey, you wearing a mask?" But you know, different approaches, different people. Um, but if she
Trying to be forthright.
did, it seem like she was offended you said she was might be wearing a mask, or did she seem like, oh no, he's figured out my secret?
Uh, she didn't overly clarify, and then the dread cold of endless winter started creeping out from the inside of my marrow. So I left. I left.
Ah, okay. Hmm. I think that in the end, will that seems a little like she may not be our traitor. I think she might have arranged your death immediately if she was.
That's comforting
You've narrowed the selections, kind of.
a
I
bit.
mean, if you turned up dead, then you definitely have probably found it, and I'll be able to tell everyone else.
Or, I mean, I suppose in the worst case scenario, now two of the hands want to kill us, or me at least.
Hmm,
But
that's
one for very personal and non-political reasons.
true. Huh.
Huh.
Well,
So you don't think the mirror was enough?
was it a very nice mirror?
It might have been magical.
Might have been.
Look, this is a whole loop. We don't have time to go through again.
Okay. So you gave a potentially magical mirror as a gift, and she perhaps did not receive it with as much aplomb, and then you sort of seem to have offended her.
Yes, yes, those things.
I would advise maybe a follow-up gift that you know exactly what it is and you're certain she'll like it.
Huh.
Maybe something to
That's a
give her
good
at the
idea.
party.
Maybe. That's good, though. That's good. I can work with that.
Nice.
Uh,
How much money do you have left for the party?
I have a few $100 left.
Oh, wow. So you must have bought a whole bunch of great things for it. Weren't
There's
there
some very
thousands
good
of
alcohol,
dollars?
or at least some. It's like, what was it, Lowell? Like 2,000?
Yeah, but quite a bit of alcohol, yes. And
Oh, I meant the money I got for the party.
yes,
Yes, I did stock up the bar rather aggressively. I've been told it's a drinking holiday.
That's sort of true. Yeah, 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 yeah. Um, and are you thinking a band or, well, what do you got left? Probably a DJ. Maybe we could find someone in the court who is talented at that sort of thing.
Or is a musician.
Ooh, live music from an actual, I don't know. You'll get somebody with just a guitar and, but maybe, sure.
You were just saying we should hire live music.
Well, I meant like a professional band. course, that said, they really can't. You can't bring too many mortals to this, can we?
Well, not and make everyone comfortable.
Well, then maybe, yeah, maybe find someone who's a magician, magician, Freudian slip, a musician or a DJ amongst the courts. Um, when we get to the venue, we'll make sure the space looks good. We'll talk about catering. We can save a little bit because we won't be needing any servers. It's just going to be a buffet.
Are we, well, should we, if we're going to be dealing with our own servers, well, Aldo offered to handle the door.
Okay.
So maybe if we had someone at the gate, that should cover everything we need.
Someone at the door and someone who bartends, probably. Are you
Oh,
going to
yes, quite.
bartend? That's a very
Well, not
prominent
the whole
space.
time. I will probably do some, but don't want to interfere too much with full hosting duties, and there is the dancing.
I'll help how I can. I admit I don't really know how to make many drinks, but I can try. So, um, I'm really hoping this party goes well.
Oh, thank you. I do too. The world keeps conspiring to make things stranger around it, but it would be nice just to have a nice party.
I think so too. We've got so many troubles that maybe a nice party could bring all the courts together.
I should ask, is there one team or the other that we should be pulling for?
Hmm. Well, Tennessee Titans are closest.
Yeah, that's a good pull. I don't want to. I thought about, both sides, but then I don't want to divide people, and I don't want to anger the lowest percentage of attendees.
Well, I think I might would have it be a party for the Super Bowl and let people choose who they're pulling for.
All right. Means we don't have to buy little flags.
Right. And I presume we get there. My main thing is to make sure we've got a space set up that they know that we're going to have it there, just to have the bases set on that.
Absolutely. They have a, a the one of the side areas, not the main hall, but one of the other halls there. Um, and it is a big room with some tables and some chairs.
Cool.
I imagine there's a lot of consternation and an argument over what do you mean you want to have your own employees working at the gate and around the building at the time?
Oh, well, we probably won't get the whole building soon, but the door to come in here we could do.
The person who's been assigned to say, I understand that you'll be providing the staff and taking care of the food and such yourselves.
Um,
Yes.
That's what we were told.
Well,
Oh,
the catering, we did want to ask about like the kitchen, the facilities and stuff.
we have a number of parties that are going on. They're going to be booked up for that.
okay, we'll arrange our own food then, yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Certainly, we can make sure that the loading dock is clear for that space there. I can probably get together some of the roller trays with the heating so to make it easier to move things around. But otherwise, a lot of things have been this was put on the schedule so recently. Uh, you hope you understand.
Of course. Yes, yes. Right, Suit?
Yes, I think this will be workable.
All right then. Well, uh, just give us a call if there's anything else you need, and he will disappear off.
I think it's a nice room.
So, it is a bit of a step with the loading dock.
Look, Jimmy.
Maybe we made some sort of ramp, like carpeted lights.
What?
If there's going to be, you know, parties and people at the gates, well, maybe it would be better if we had people come around through the back. But
Oh.
that feels wrong, so we should make it not like the back loading dock.
We could probably do that, yeah. I mean, I imagine most folks aren't going to show up in looking, too conspicuous around the mortals. It'll be really making sure no one stumbles into our party and gets a horrible, horrible shock.
You're right. Probably all of our guests and the very trustworthy and level-headed people from the courts won't be wearing or doing anything extravagant, obvious, or over the top for a party.
I see your point, Suit. Hey, how about a party bus we pick people up in and they all come in the party bus to the venue?
How much do party buses cost?
And we could figure something out.
Let's take our break here. Take 10, and we will come back, okay?
Excellent.
So let's come back around to Aldo. So we do another once around and then draw the group together. If we have some paired up scenes, that's also fine. Aldo, let's come back to you.
Yeah, I would like to talk to Lydia.
Okay. Later on Wednesday, after you come back from your meeting, after Lydia's come back from meeting up with Miss Bashan, as you're getting on towards dinner time, you will cross paths with Lydia.
Eldo, how are you doing today?
Uh, okay. What are you up to?
Cheese balls. I knew that you would never guess if you tried and tried.
More cheese balls? Wow.
There, I have
I
to
mean, you
have.
can never have too many cheese balls. I'm not complaining at all.
I asked how many tables there would be, and he said 20. And I don't know if that's for reals, but
No idea.
so I'm making 20 cheese ball plates. So there you go.
That's a lot.
It
give me a
is.
hint.
I actually think I've got it down on the day of the hard thing's going to be loading all the crackers on. So anyway, no big deal.
Cool.
If you sing the right sort of song, it's actually very easy, but you just got to get the cadence right. The cracker loading. I mean.
The cracker loading song. Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. That is not a method I'm familiar with, but hey, whatever works, right?
Exactly.
Do
you want something? Would you like to come to my apartment? Okay, sure.
Sure, yes. Yeah. I I hesitate to ask this because, well, I mean, Sue and I talked to Marrow, and we ended up dragging Marrow into the and um and I would rather not do that again. But um so the computer room you took over,
Mhm.
I think it was used to create another doppelganger. Um, is th- like,
Do you want to
can
poke around
you?
in the files?
Yes, I do.
Let's go do it. I am the master now. All right, let's go. Hmm, what's the word for it? Oh, bracket. Yes,
So,
sirree.
Yeah.
I watched the movie. I'm ready.
so,
I just got to go type, 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 type really fast.
so we've established what Marrow's sort of transversal to his space is.
Mhm.
What does yours look like, Lily? Do you
Uh,
literally have to hack the world, hack the planet?
that's a good question. Uh, no, I think that remember that her other selves are there. She simply just asks for one of them to open the door, and then her kind of closet door comes ajar, and you step in and you just go through. But and you kind of like you see, like you know how you're talking about that doppelganger thing. You're not seeing a doppelganger of her, but you're seeing a woman that maybe is one of them, like you'd seen her face on the thing. And so you kind of see her, but she's already sort of disappearing as that goes. You see this
Oh,
other woman that maybe was one of the other perfect women before. Yeah.
Absolutely. You can make your way through and again into that basement,
Mhm.
that that AC plugging away, battling with the heat from these old style machines and cathode ray tubes and CRT screens and everything.
Everything is better dusted now. Yeah, and you can see that like slowly all the cables are getting like organized in a more aesthetic manner, but it's not like it's all done. You get the feeling that something's very much in progress.
Okay. And yeah, what else is different about this place, Lily?
Um, so I think one of the things is that when you sort of look like on a monitor before they were just kind of dusty and stuff, but now you see these little knickknacks or over the chair, you see like what looks like a jacket, not one that you've ever seen, Lily wear. And like it's been just dropped over the thing. It has a feeling of like people are moving through, and they kind of leave their things around, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. So what do you want to do, you two?
So what are we looking for?
um, so so this copy would have been created whenever Songbird Rex mentioned first seeing it, like sometime before that.
Okay.
And I don't know why, or even like how, like what the connection was, why Count Zero would have created a copy of her specifically, because she said she didn't really know him. But uh yeah, I don't know.
Well, this feels like a study move.
It does. Which of us should make it?
Well, Aldo called for it.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. So,
Okay.
so I will show you the main hard drive, and I'll go, well, we'll just look for a directory that's older than that, or got files in it that are older than that. And
Okay.
shows you how to read the added date and the last updated date. So
Okay. Cool.
All the files start with like 7
I
zeros.
should-
A number.
Okay.
Okay.
Wow, what am I rolling this with? I am extremely out of my element here. I was taken in 1979 before people had computers, right?
Yes.
Just I have never used a computer before. In the year I've been back, I have managed to avoid it. So I'm rolling this with fear.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. The only things that would have been around were like the reel to reel going back and forth
Mhm.
things at big companies.
Yeah, it's not a thing that like normal people would have had.
Mhm.
And I've got a 5.
You have got a
Oh,
5.
this is. Can I lend my assistance in a sufficient way to
You have
assist?
a
Yeah, I can do the secret. Well, the secret Meyer would do it. I don't know if I can do that because Marrow's kind of my. Still, I'm
yeah.
excited for you. It's a big risk for me. Can I try it?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay. So here we go. I'm just excited that you're here and you're hanging out in my place. I mean, it's all our places. I mean, it's all, yeah, there's a lot of us here. You see her kind of like wave,
Mhm.
someone that you don't see behind you. So, okay, I'm gonna roll when I find the stupid dice roller. I don't know how I lose it so often. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna roll 2d6. I'm gonna add 3 to it. 3 and 3 is a 6. We both still messed it up, man.
Wow. We
Oh
suck at this.
no. That's a double mess
So
up. I think that's
I
my
think that
thing.
you will realize as you're looking through that Count Zero didn't make a doppelganger. He made lots of doppelgangers. He has made lots of shells of people and things and stuff that he can move around in and inhabit.
Okay.
And uh, it's even more dangerous because it does have a bit of the glamour on it, the thing that Marrow does of the lies becoming the truth.
Ugh.
That
I,
seems very bad.
so we both look at each other and go, uh-oh.
Hey, the good news is you both get to mark XP and mark the
Yay.
element that you rolled.
Oh no. Oh no. I am not happy anymore.
And when I say element, I
Not
mean
good. Not good. It's okay. It's good
is
for my
it?
character development.
Yeah, so I think we do kind of end up that scene with that revelation coming on with like the numbers rolling up and realizing like there are 66 active duplicates currently in the mobile area.
Okay. All right. But he's somehow like isn't the winner so far as we can tell, right?
So far as you
But
can
he's
tell,
still
yes.
functioning though. Complicated.
Maybe he hid himself away so that he was safe for a while.
That would be sensible.
That would be, wouldn't it?
I've never
Uh,
been sensible, so I wouldn't know.
you wouldn't know.
Others of me are sensible, but
Mr.
not me.
Suit, Mr. Suit, he will get a phone call.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I take it's back at the apartment.
Yes.
I'll pick up.
This is a call for Mr. Suit.
Speaking.
Hold on one second. Let me patch you through. Suit, this is Aaron. How are you
Ah,
doing?
well, it's a busy week. Preparations.
I imagine. So I think something must have happened. I think someone is messing with you
What makes you say
because
that?
so I went and just out of an abundance of caution and my own general interest, I went to look at what had been done regarding your party, and it looks like someone seems to have like not done a number of the things, or canceled them or so on. So uh, I'd like to like I'd like to offer my assistance here to make sure everything goes right. I can have private caterer set up for you. I can get you a sound system because I can see on the invoices here that you don't have a sound system. Um, I can get you a couple of big screen TVs to be set up. We can get that maybe with some extra space so that people can have a private area to watch the game or go onto the dance floor. If you want, we can get you a live band or we can get you a DJ to go with that sound system. I'd really like to help out because you've invited me to this party and I want it to go well.
Well, you're supposed to be a guest. There's no need for you to do this sort of thing.
So you'll handle all that yourself
Uh, well, um,
because it would, you understand that you have put me in a position where you've asked me to bring a spectacular guest, and I would be very upset if I brought a spectacular guest and I was embarrassed when I showed up.
well,
So I'll ask you again,
I
may I
will
help you?
admit to having some measure of inexperience with the technical sides of things.
Uh-huh.
And well, TVs are a large part of this particular. If if you would be kind enough to help with the
Absolutely.
TVs and the sound
T
system, that
TVs,
would
sound
be.
system, DJ.
Uh, we're looking into that one.
All right. But as I said, I do not wish to be embarrassed,
I wouldn't dream of it.
especially on the musical side.
If you have a strong idea, why don't you send their information over and I will
No,
let you
no,
know
no.
by tomorrow.
I'll be glad to take care of it. But if you're going to take care of it, then I won't worry about it.
I'll handle that one.
All right. Then I will make sure that the sound system and the televisions are set out for you.
That's far too kind of you.
It is, isn't it? I like it when people say that.
Well, I only say it because it's true and I'm grateful.
Good. Excellent. Well, I'm looking forward to us having this party so that we can finish and contract our business and make the exchange.
Which exchange exactly, Lowell?
Oh, you promised him the island.
Oh, yeah, I mean, if he wants to get that, I'm sure that'll happen.
All right. Well, I will speak with you later then. I'll make sure everything is put into place.
I am very much looking forward to this weekend. It should be exciting.
Absolutely. So that was me. What do you want to do, Mr. Suit? What scene do you want to call?
Um, weirdly, I was gonna ask how I might could reach out to Rodrigo.
Well, he gave you a contact number.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I will give him a call and see if I can set up a meeting.
Sure. He says, you can allow me to set the place if that's okay.
Uh, well, you came to us last time. I suppose it's fair.
You understand a certain amount of paranoia on my part.
I hear you've been rather popular recently.
We don't have to go down that particular line of things, but yeah, there's a little bistro over on the west side. Uh, uh, there's uh, uh, some young white liberals who think they know how to barbecue who have set up a place, and they had it kind of go out from under them, but they hired some locals finally, and it's actually got good food now. So why don't we meet over there? It's enough off the beaten path that I don't think any of my colleagues will be looking that way.
That sounds perfect.
Great, great. And we'll cut to this, what was clearly originally a very sort of trying to be upscale, hot cuisine kind of food, but it has, they've definitely realized that that is not the money, and the menu board has been plastered over with other things, and you can see that they've got, an actual real smoker out back and things, and Rodrigo is there, and you will see that the building, the other people who are sitting here are eating voraciously, probably because they're ghosts that are possessing bodies here that are kind of filling out the clientele.
Oh,
Mr. Suit, over here.
uh, that what a lively establishment.
Oh, I see what you did there. That's pretty good.
Oh, thank you. That's you think are they how are they breaking even?
Uh, they're really not. Don't worry. Don't worry about it.
All right. Is the food at least as good as
Oh,
it
the food is quite
says?
good here. Um, Uh, and once they make a few more adjustments to the menu, they'll get a little more local clientele, and they'll be good. And I won't have to bring these folk in to fill out the tab for the day.
So you're still set on staying in the city?
As I said to you before, leaving the city is not an option for me for a number of reasons.
Just thought there's not an option, there's not an option. But if there's not an option, there's not an option.
All right, Jerry. So
So,
what has gone on? What did you find on the island?
a lot of very confusing situations and people and
Okay.
things. I actually came to ask you about Mr. Rourke.
Okay.
I'm having a party this weekend. Did I tell you that?
I I had picked that up in the general flow of conversation that there was some sort of Super Bowl event that you and your folk were organizing.
Yes. Of course, you're more than welcome to come if you'd like. It may be awkward. Mr. Rourke is also coming.
Well, then, I think I will avoid your fine establishment. Maybe you tell me where he's going to be exactly, time and place, just so I am not anywhere near there.
Well, obviously, of course,
I wouldn't do anything because the firebombing wouldn't work. So you don't have to worry about that. It wasn't like I was going to try to do something horrible, occult, and nasty to him there and get everyone killed in that immediate area. I don't yet have access to those kinds of things.
of course not, and that would be horribly unsociable. Besides, the events are public, or the details are publicly available. As for when he might decide to show up, I couldn't speak to that one way or the other.
So go on. Since we're working together,
Yes, he has, quite gleefully, promised to bring a surprise special guest, and well, I do want to make sure that everything is planned for, and I was wondering if you had any insight into that.
What do you mean? I don't understand.
Who he might bring.
You understand he could bring anybody. He has enough money. If he deems it, he could get anybody. What kind of person did you want to have come? What'd you say to him?
I said a spectacular guest.
Well, whatever guest he's going to be is going to be spectacular and going to be is going to make everyone's jaw drop. Whether that's a singer or an actor or you know a notable politician. There are many possibilities.
So he is going to bring someone important enough to impress people.
That seems to be what you asked for.
And that is what he would bring. He would be
Look, if you told him to do
taken with
that,
that sort of challenge.
yeah, I mean, if you made a deal with him on that, then yes, he's going to live up to that.
All right. It's as much assurance as I can expect, I suppose.
What do you mean assurance? Like, did you think he was going to like bring somebody in to murder all of you or something?
Yes. But
He
unless it's someone who would
he
in some way impress and dazzle everyone first.
he doesn't need to do things that way. That's not the way he operates. There are others amongst my cadre who do operate in that fashion. He is not one of them. Just don't, just be careful what bargains you make with him. He is very old.
I have a sense that might be very good advice. Well,
You just have to want to be careful about like if you get under the weight of something, if you get a contract or anything like that, you're just going to want to be careful with him, especially with that.
tell me this then.
Hmm.
If you don't have any more enlightenment on potential guests,
You say that
how
like
about
has it been a failing of mine? I don't I like you asked me an incredibly vague question and I've told giving you the answers that I have access to.
well, I mean,
So don't say it like I haven't given you some good information, my friend. Say it
right.
like you have another question and you'd like me to help you out.
I would like your help. Something specific, something concrete that I feel like you can share.
Okay.
All of the courts, we'll call them courts. Not just all courts, our courts, but all of them in the city.
I
At New
think
Year's,
if you have four courts, right?
we do. I mean everyone, though.
Ah, you mean all the courts?
Yours,
Yes.
the ghosts, the witches, the goblins,
Yes.
received harbingers on the New Year's.
That is my understanding.
You weren't there?
Not at all of them. As I told you, I was present at mine,
Perfect.
and I told you about mine. The others, I don't know. Those are the kinds of things they keep close to their chests. Even, even the, even the possessors that I work with have not revealed to me what was spoken to them in prophecy on New Year's.
And the person, did he tell us about the person before? The one who came in and prophesied.
He didn't give us. You had the sense that there was some sort of oracle, and that oracle is now unalive. That was the implication that was given in that.
I would still like to know where I can find them. And I want to push on my string that I have on him.
Sure, sure. Um, all right. Spend that string.
Okay.
Larissa Dolan's. She is another like me. One of my Enrock's brethren. But, as with all of us, different means, ways, and lineage. If you're looking for that oracle, Clarissa Dolan's swallowed her soul.
It's a neat trick.
So that's where that oracle is.
And the other bits?
She manifests physicality to swallow the soul.
Ah,
Once you have seen it once, you will not ever want to see it again.
I
I'm not
suppose it's good to have a
sure.
memorable
Yeah.
trick.
Yes, I'm not sure exactly. I'm not sure exactly what any of them are, but her I have the least idea about.
Hmm. Well, that is fair and specific and potentially helpful information, for which I thank you.
Absolutely.
And this food is shockingly good.
Absolutely. They've brought in some good people. You should make sure that you get some actually, in fact, and he'll kind of call out for like a couple of sampler platter things to be put together, boxed up to go. Yeah, put the
Oh,
sauces and little things on the side. You okay taking that back to your friends?
oh yes, yes, thank you. And excuse, and I'll like turn to the waiter that's bringing stuff over. Do you do catering at all here?
Oh yeah, we can put some slops together for you.
I would love to talk to you further, and I'll hand her a card.
Okay, absolutely. And yeah, he will essentially get a couple $100 worth of barbecue and sides and things like that in some containers for you to take back to your friends.
That was surprisingly nice.
Yeah. Says, well, I will talk with you later, Mr. Suit.
It's been a lovely meal. Thank you.
You see, as he walks out, a the string is gone, but he also seems maybe a little bit relieved that you didn't ask about that shared history again. That maybe he thought that that was what was coming here, and that he got off relatively lightly. Lily, Muted. Not muted.
Interesting. Hmm. So we discovered that there are a bunch of these things. I think we're going to have to, of these copies, these replicas. What did you call them again, Ildo?
Doppelgangers, I
Doppelgangers.
think.
Doppelgangers. That's such a strange word. Okay. Let's make a list. Let's figure out who we would talk to about this. Should we start with the court? One of the courts? Maybe their hands? I don't know.
Maybe the goblins?
Ooh, goblins.
Hmm.
Wait, who said maybe the goblins?
I'm saying maybe the
maybe the goblins.
goblins.
Ooh, goblins too.
Yeah, I mean the goblins get around. They talk a lot, as you may have noticed.
Okay, well, we know how to bribe them. I mean, they like,
Easy to bribe. That is the good thing about goblins.
yes, they will eat about anything. And I have a lot of bits and leftovers right now. Okay, that sounds like a good plan. And we'll ask, well, actually, I don't think Puck would know who to ask particularly. He doesn't
Right.
mingle
No,
with
he
these
didn't.
guys, right?
In fact, he avoided mingling with the goblins when you were
Yeah.
there.
Yes, exactly. So,
Right, yeah.
okay, because he
So,
was in prison when we
market.
found him. So, yeah.
Yeah. I don't think he
Okay.
gets along with them.
So yeah, I think we can do this, and that's what I would do. I will go and gather up all the cracker boxes of the sample types that I've gotten, and the different cheese types and their little foil bits, and the archway cookies. If there's only 3 left in the box, and
Okay.
all of those things. You kind of get those little precious ends that you're probably going to let go stale, and you're like, these would be good for a goblin. So we'll go and then we'll go to the goblin market to find out as much as we can about those doppelgangers, like which have been seen. And I think one of the things that I have to do is print out a bunch of the dot matrix of the pictures of the
Okay.
ones that are the doppelgangers. So
So we will cut to you essentially meeting up with Den Tipper
mhm.
In his office. He's glad to see you again. Come and sit down. Come and sit down.
Oh,
I see you brought a mess of odd food stuffs and things.
it's like
How
we
did
trade
those
those back and
how
forth.
did those hard candies work out for you?
I was surprised. There are people who really like Warhound, and I had no idea, but they went almost fast.
Absolutely.
The last ones were those super strong blue mints at the end.
Oh, the
Those were
menthol ones are disgusting. I love
I
them.
I just call them grandma mints, but
Yeah.
that's
Mm.
terrible. Anyway,
They're
um,
very potent when you make sympathetic medicines.
oh, that makes sense because they do taste like medicine.
They,
They
they, they,
taste like
Me
a
too.
punishment
Yes.
that you have to go through to get better, don't they?
absolutely.
Yes.
So
Ah,
how goes your war, Master Aldo, with the other gabos?
It seems to be calm at the moment, which I
Calm
would
before the
be.
storm. Don't forget that.
You had to say that, didn't you?
Yeah, of course I do. I know gabos. I know from gabos. I know how they work.
Yeah. Uh, I honestly should probably try to talk to them at some point. I don't even know what their issue was with me to start with. I mean,
So
I know
it's
that.
funny you should say that. One of the things I was going to say is, here I am, a pillar of the goblin market community. Perhaps someone like, say, me could assist you in finding a way to negotiate and come to a settlement, an amicable accord.
what
You
excellent
know,
good luck this is.
I could talk to them, see what their concerns are, see what is they want, that kind of thing?
You know,
Lure them into
I
an
would be.
ambush if that's what you want. We can work on this.
Ooh,
Let's start with the. I would very much like to know what their problem is with me because it might be something that I wouldn't mind changing. It might be something I would very much mind changing, and then I will be asking you for the ambush. But
Right. Well, let me check on that. I can get to follow up on that.
seems
See what
reasonable.
here. But I went on a cosine tangent way out there on that one.
Ooh,
So
geometry.
you brought you have questions, things? What do you want to know?
Yes. And essentially, she takes out the big sheaf of paper and she goes, there was a another one of us, but not like a one called Count Zero. He's pale and spent most of his time inside, a computer sort of person. But apparently, he spent a lot of his time making copies of other changelings, other sunken, other folk like us. So, like, if there were two of me, one of them he made, and then me. Is this something that you've heard tell of? Two of a kind of some of our folk?
Study roll.
What kind?
Study roll.
Study rolls, you know those are the worst. Okay. It's
Precisely. But it's a good thing you
always
have all your
worse.
stats available to you.
Oh yeah, they don't. I'll do calm right now.
Okay.
Just trying to get an answer.
And Aldo
Trying
can
to,
always help if things go terribly wrong.
yeah, just don't ask me for help. But gosh, that just is where it all goes terribly wrong. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
I'm gonna roll again. I'm gonna add one. Let's see how terrible this can go. I got an 8. That was a squarely average roll.
So what is what is your what does he want to know?
I want to know if they can verify, like if any of them know of some of the folks that there's two of them, like a Songbird Rex. Specifically would say like we know that there are two songbirds,
Mhm.
but are there others that you or yours have noticed? It's just
You
I
see
kind
him
of
kind
figure
of
they have a different smell to them, you
look, he
know?
kind of looks through the list and
Mm-hmm.
says, well, some of these are falsehoods.
Falsehoods, what does that mean?
They're 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 not real people. They're made up people that are manifested.
I mean, the original person was
No, no, no,
also.
no, no. Some of these
Oh,
aren't
okay.
duplicates. They're
He made up a brand new person,
made of a brand new person. I can we change can yeah, yeah.
so you can identify
Well, we
those.
can't identify. We don't like those kind of people. Uh, we have a inherent antipathy to them. The people who assume those guises, those shadows and things. And especially when it comes from your particular branch of skills, it's inherently destructive.
Well, that's not good. Help me
That's
sort out which ones are those, and we'll go through the pictures.
and again, you have just scattershot, like you don't have like details, you don't have a lot of names, things like that. So what is it? What is the question that you want to know here?
So what I want to know is like which of these are moving around on their own? Does that make any sense? Like which ones seem to be active now?
It it doesn't look like he can have more than a couple active at once. That's at least the impression that you have there.
Okay. And then of the ones that he says are falsehoods, are those ones that I associate with being sunken
Again, you don't have
or
names,
names or anything
details,
like
things
that?
like
Okay.
you don't have a lot of
That
details
okay.
on these things. That's a whole
So
nother line of
that's a whole
inquiry.
another line of inquiry. Okay, I'm sorry. Um, so and I kind of stop and I go, how can you tell them? What are you identifying from? So that I have something to kind of give the indicator of that.
It's a goblin thing. If you have,
If I have
maybe
a
you
goblin,
should hire a goblin and they can help
ooh,
you with that kind of thing.
yeah, I could get a really good hat for them. That would be nice.
Yeah, absolutely. I could certainly, we also do employment services. So if you'd like us to,
Interesting.
get you a goblin to assist you.
I think
Um,
we might have one available.
we'll check with the usual folk, but
You already have a goblin at your disposal?
well, I was thinking of also the person that, we worked with earlier. So, um, what
Oh,
was it?
the the sheriff.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
I could certainly get him
sure.
if the person that you've worked with before isn't reliable.
Yeah. It would just give us more, how should we say, um, possibilities. I always like fresh eyes on a case, right? All right. Um, and I'm sorry, forget what his name was. It's
Den Tipper.
No, you said his name is Den Tipper,
Oh, the
right? But
sheriff.
yeah, the sheriff's
Yeah.
name was
Who's the
I have to look that up. It's been a way since we had.
Den Tipper's the one that wore a duster, so I think that was the one that I was thinking of, and the one that ended up with the
Oh,
thing is Den Bacher, isn't it?
Den Bacher is the one who's dead.
Okay, Den Bacher's the one who's
Den Tipper is the yes, he is the right. That is the right one. That is the
okay.
duster. The guy you're talking to is oh gosh.
He was one of the families, and I wrote it down somewhere. I just can't
Yep.
find it. So, it was complicated at the
Anyway,
time.
well, he's a market warden. We'll just say a market
Yeah,
warden for the
market warden.
moment.
That sounds good.
Yep. Well,
Yep.
I could get Den Tipper to.
Oh, is that Den Orpha? The one.
Oh yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Yes,
Uh, if you want, I can get him to get a hold of you.
that sounds lovely. If he's amenable, we'll arrange
Absolutely.
payment. Thank you. Anyway, we leave snacks.
Excellent. See, this is why you are good visitors. This is why we like you.
Hmm. I hope that you have a
I do have one thing. One of your fellows, I wasn't present at the time, uh, but one of your fellows bought a very dangerous item.
oh no.
A
I hope Marrow didn't get something scary.
No, I'm not sure who it was, but apparently very, very dangerous mirror. Um, so I assume it wasn't either of you.
It was not
No.
me.
So
This is
if you could check with your fellows, I think it was one of your group. It might have been another one of the Sunken, but ask and bring that mirror back to us so we can have it dealt with.
oh, okay. All right. Well, I'm glad that you got the word to us. Hopefully, nothing bad will happen.
Absolutely. I'm sure I was in time.
It's a very dangerous mirror.
I
Who
haven't seen
knows?
Marrow use a mirror or Mr. Suit. I think it's yeah.
Okay.
Well, ta-ta.
See ya. We'll have to rush back on the bus.
It's only two exchanges.
Tuesday's no big deal.
Um, Marrow, let's come back to you.
Yes, I think I would like to go and visit my Duke Bane Becky.
Okay. We will head again. You have those offices
Mm.
there. Um, Like when you go to request an appointment, you'll be directed to Bayman. Uh, Essentially, he is the hand. Everything goes through him.
Okay. Um, I will. Uh, Hello, Bateman. I
Come
was
in
wanting
and
to.
sit down. Tell me how things are going.
It's been a lot. There's a lot on our plate, I have to say. Um,
I
I
have a note here that came from the Court of Broken Shackles
really.
that said that we might want to have a counselor talk with you.
That's so.
Is that so? Or is this just someone yanking our broken shackles, as it were?
I I think I know who it was. I
Hmm.
had a bit of a we had a bit of harsh words.
All right.
But
All
at the
right.
same time, I am more than happy to sit down with someone and I mean I've been told therapy's good for you.
Well, let me look into that. I wanted to just, since you were here, bring it up, uh, and we can see. But well, you came here on business. What is it that you've come here for?
I was hoping for a moment of the Duke's time, whatever is convenient for her.
What is the matter?
Uh, I haven't had an opportunity to speak with her in a bit, and we have the party coming up,
Hmm.
and had I admit I've had we discovered some things on our missions, and I was hoping for a bit of her wisdom. It's She's always provided me such good advice in the past.
You understand the Duke's duties are heavy, so if there's something specific that you need, perhaps I can be of assistance. Or, but if there is something specific that you need from the Duke, you should tell me so that I can see and bring it to her.
Of course, um, as I say, and you and I like to think have always had such a good relationship, but my lady has always seemed to see to the core. Uh, her words bring me comfort, and she just always manages to give me the right advice. And while there's so much going on, I'm sorry. I know she's busy, and I wouldn't want to take up all of any of her time. But if she could spare just a few minutes sometime soon, I would love the chance for that appointment.
Well, I will have to see about that.
I understand, of course. Uh,
You
we,
said you've made some discoveries, though?
yes, well, we have discovered that the prodigals is sort of what I've been calling them. Uh, this great working that they were attempting to do. Um, they had created some locations. We've managed to disconnect the binding to the prodigals, uh, but I somehow think that they weren't using those places anymore. that they may be out and about trying to do something. They may even be around us.
But you haven't been able to find them.
Not certainly not as they not really no. Um, we had a lead maybe on one. We're not sure that that's if it was them. They seem horribly well, very much different, and I some there's no evidence of them like they just disappeared.
Well, do me this favor. What you have, at least the preliminaries of it, your suspicions, what you've learned, write that up.
All right.
I know you've been out there in the wind, you and your companions on this, and of course your Mr. Suit has matters of his that he is dealing with. Uh, so if you were to write that up, that's something that I can then go and talk with the other hands about, and we can see if there are resources that we can bring to bear to assist on this. Uh,
I'm really concerned that what they've done is terribly dangerous and that it might involve.
that's he says yes. See, the fact that we know that they're tied up whatever this prophecy is.
I
We
think
know that
one
they're
of them is
dangerous.
trying to become a taker. I've been
See
led to
him
believe,
stop, like he's really like, oh,
and and there are certain hints that make me think that they have someone working here in the city, some cat's paw, some some uh, some idiot that's just become a fool for their plans, someone who is being used by them, some patsy. I mean, only a complete idiot would do such a thing. I am studying him very carefully as I
sure,
say this.
absolutely.
Um, and I think I'm going to be rolling with. I'm going with Sora because I'm a little. The way he's keeping me off of Babe Becky has me thinking thinking something terrible about someone I kind of have always liked.
Sure.
So I feel bad about it. I mean, I really, God, I hope I'm wrong about him. But he's raised my suspicions terribly. That's the 12.
So you've got two hold.
Um, do I notice any reaction as I'm kind
I
of
want you to
poking at
rephrase that
this?
question like that. Like, of
Okay.
course, he has a reaction. I mean, but what are you asking? What do you want to know?
Um, well, what I want to know is does does it look like he's pissed off, but then I'm calling whoever's working with the taker wannabe an
No,
idiot
no,
and a
that
fool?
see that no, not at all.
Okay. All right.
What's your second question or declaration?
Is he being sincere about why he's keeping me from Bane Becky?
Yeah, he's sincerely worried about her. You have the sense that there's something going on. He's kind of stressing the fact of what the roles and the responsibilities of the dukes, and you have the sense that there's some ceremony or magic or something that's going on that they're in the middle of.
Hmm. Okay. And I hate to
Get that
think that someone's
information,
being.
that way I can disseminate it amongst the other hands. I mean,
Bayman,
if there is
I
someone,
think you need to be careful about the other hands.
why do you say that? What you say to me now goes no further than this room. I will not speak whatever you tell me. I give you my contract and my oath that I will not repeat it to another person and identify you as the speaker. I may imply things, but I will not say or point or by absence or implication draw your name into this. Why do you think I should be wary of the other hands?
Whoever this cat's paw is, they are highly placed.
So definitely among the courts, but you think that high?
I think that high.
You say the hands. Do you have I don't want you to give up a source. I don't want you to do that necessarily, but where does this information come from?
Or remnants that were left behind by the prodigals. I cannot give you more than to
Right.
believe that
And
I
and
am
again,
coming to you
again,
with the
to remind
truth.
you, there are two things going on here.
Mm-hmm.
You suspect that one of the prodigals has assumed the guise of one of the dukes,
Correct.
but the information you got from the immortal Rodrigo is that
Is
one
one of
of the hands is suborned by one of the immortals,
the immortals, not by the prodigals.
not by the prodigals.
Hmm. Okay. Then
So let's
pull
roll
back
back a
just
bit here.
slightly. I I believe one of the hands has been influenced by another group in the city, by the immortals.
This information is you trust your source is reliable. They believe this is the case.
Yes, and they would know.
All right. All right. And you think that's different from the person who is suborned by the prodigals?
Yes.
Okay. In that case, don't give me a written report. When you have things you think I need to know, come and tell me. Don't give me anything in writing that I have to tell other people that you produced.
You realize, of course, I'm putting my life in your hands.
Oh, I I understand that if I am the person that is suborned by the immortals, then at this point I would have two choices. One would be to kill you now.
Mhm.
You've come here alone. It's late in the day. There's not many other people in the building. Perhaps other people didn't even see you come in. No chain of evidence, no videotapes, anything like that. I could easily take care of those things. That's the one hand. The other hand is to let you go and try to work you so that I can find out who gave you that information.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's more and more chances if it is you that I'll figure that out.
Right. It's not me.
I wouldn't have told you if I didn't think that was true.
I am sorry that I clearly aroused your suspicions, but the Duke, the Dukes are in the middle of some delicate works.
Any of
They,
them been acting strange?
how could you tell with the Dukes? He says, he says it. How could you tell with the Dukes? They operate on a different rarefied atmosphere than we do. They are attuned to the the drift of the magics that keep our place safe. They listen to the tides. They listen to the undertow. They know where the water is. I know that's not much help to you, but um, all right. Well, I will keep my counsel closer in dealing with uh, my uh, peers amongst the other courts.
I imagine my motley is poking and prodding at others the same as I'm poking at you.
Well, that will make that Super Bowl party really interesting, won't it?
Yeah, as long as we don't both go to, or anybody double up, well, when one of them dies, we'll have a pretty good idea.
Absolutely. I don't like that plan though, and I don't think you
It's
do
not my
either.
favorite either.
All right. Well, you take care and be very, very cautious, Marrow.
And if I do have an opportunity to speak to their lady, would love I would love to see her.
When that opportunity arises, you will be the first in line. I'm
Thank you.
hoping that they will be at the party, that things will be wrapped by then, that they certainly that was the indication to me was that the Dukes will be there.
It should be quite grand. We found a lovely venue.
Oh, good, good. I'm looking forward to it. All right. Well, you can see yourself out. I have things to think on.
Of course. Aldi,
All right. I think that's where
smash
we're
me in the back of the skull.
going. Fooled you. We meet at last for the first and last time. Uh, so let's stop there. I think we've got too much around. What I want to start with next time is group meeting, and let's do all the stuff that's going to lead up to the party. Like I would like that's going to be the next session is going to be getting all of those other things in place. Anything that we want to do, any roles that we need to do to get things set up and move that forward. Um, let's do check through Aldo. Um, I think we hit both of your entanglements, didn't we?
Yep, sure did.
So let's say 3 points on that. I'm using for I've fallen back into Hearts of Wulin XP thing, so don't mind me. Um, uh, well, we definitely hit the romantic entanglement there, right, Mr. Suit? Okay. So 2 points there for you on that.
Cool.
Uh, what about for you, Lily? I think we just hit one of them, right?
Yeah, and not as much as I would have liked to,
Okay.
but at least I got to hang out with my friend Eldo. Um, so I don't know.
Yeah, let's give you two.
Yeah, okay, that's kind of you.
Well, actually, and we had the D&D main thing come up, so that's actually two out of the three.
I
So
know. I
that's
actually did go talk to him
yeah. So
too.
there, as long as you hit two of them, that's 3 points.
Okay, cool.
Uh, and
Oh, if I hit
Marrow.
anything, Absalom sort of hangs
Yeah. Oh,
over
yeah.
my
No. I think we
head.
got a lot of stuff on that. So let's give you 2 points on that.
Okie doke.
Let's do stars and wishes. Aldo.
Ah, there was a lot of there were a lot of things. Um, the I was happy to see the conversation between Mr. Suit and well, I guess both Aaron Rook and Rodrigo to really like interesting characters because like obviously neither of them are to be trusted, but also like um and stars to Patrick for just digging that hole deeper. Also stars to you, Lowell, for that like absolutely horrifying reaction or like
Reveal.
consequence to the many failed rolls. Oh, there's 60 some of them.
60. But only 2 are at a time.
Yeah, there's that small mercy.
Which too?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Mr. Suit.
I mean, yeah, this is all a bit of a mess. I mean, the dice know what story they're telling, so just here for that, I guess. Um, Sherry, I really like the idea with Lily in that basement of, we had seen all the other hers on the screens before, but like the idea that they sort of lived there or that you can go and interact, like just the idea of Lily going down there and just talking to them all is very interesting. I think that's cool. Um, Ethan, the poor Aldo, just the stuff with Songbird and Allie. That was that was a great moment. Um, and Tyler, I appreciated you like doing the scene out to the country club. I liked that. Um, but your scene with Bayman there at the end was like it was really great. It was a great like move through that paranoia and choosing to trust and the reveal there. But also it makes things so much harder for me because now I can't go fix things with Delulu. I was basically going to have that same conversation with Delulu to try and fix things with her. But like I said, we can't go to 2 of the hands with this. That's just really bad odds. So now I'm stuck in this really painful situation, and that is appropriate to how things have been going.
Awesome. Lily.
Um, oh, points to you for the whole mirror offhand comment from the goblin. That was awesome. At the last minute, I was like, oh, and
Oh
the
Lord.
yes,
Oh
and
yeah,
of
I did
course
not forget that we had a hard move sitting on that mirror for a very long time.
yes. So and then of course the shared messed up study roles just came home so beautifully, didn't they? And Marrow, your conversation was really lovely. It was just a really good character moment. Uh, it was a joy to watch. I don't know. Um, I love this world. I love all the people. I just want to, hang out with them all the time and ask a lot of dumb questions. So this is the perfect game in a lot of ways. That there's plot going on. I don't, it kind of gets in the way of me visiting all these people that I want to talk to. It's kind of the problem. So.
I do want to say thank you. I know you already know this, but I just want to say I do know who has been suborned, and I do know who is the prodigal. That is, I've determined that, and that is already that is set. That is not a quantum equation that will get closed. It is out there for that. Marrow.
Um, Boy, it was a lot. It was a whole bunch going on. I always enjoy Lily and Aldo as a duo. I
Mhm.
think y'all play off of each other really neatly. There's such a practicality to Aldo, and there's such exuberance from Lily that when you see a little bit of bleed of the each of them to the other, it does a really just a magical moment to have y'all together. It's just so much fun. I'll echo Patrick though. That kind of delving into the U's is really cool, Sherry. I think that's nifty. Um, Patrick, you got yourself in such troubles, and I love seeing you deal like these immortals you're dealing with, these conversations. I like Rourke despite myself. I and Rodrigo seems like he could have been a decent enough guy. He seems to actually sort of like you. But boy, Rourke is a fascinating character, lol. You just play him so he seems so friendly, and yet always there's that undercurrent of danger with him that is very interesting to deal with. So I enjoyed it. I also kind of like Patrick. You inspired me to say, well, might as well go and poke the bear, and so that inspired me to go to Bayman after had done that. I was like, that's something I would see Barrow doing. Barrow is in a lot of ways, a very open person, and he his idea was to go and see the Duke and maybe try to get that reaction if it's the widow. Try and say something that would break the shell. Shifted it to Bayman, but I like Bayman, and so he believes this, whether he's wrong or not. He believes it's true, and in part, if he'd been attacked, I mean, he'd have fought. But at least he'd know. And a big part right now is Marrow is like, I just fucking want to know. I'm tired of filling in the black. I'm going to push buttons. Uh, but it was a good session.
Awesome. Uh, Thank you all very much. I just want to make sure that oh, end of session move. Lily can remove a marked state.
Woot!
Woo.
Really? Why can I
Yeah.
do that?
Yeah, two people can. And I'm going to mark one
Ooh.
myself because I have three marked at the moment. So, but
Okay.
you have two.
Nice.
So.
I would take
And-
one. Thank you. I might give myself joy back.
And
So
my
thank you.
end of session move,
Yep.
I will mark another seeking, which will take me down a level.
No. How can
Yeah,
we stop that?
We've got
We
some
gotta
That's
moves.
remember, we gotta set that thing right at the beginning that we gotta get you
we will
3
never get
bonds.
me 3 bonds every session. There is no way I can do it. I've got
But
my
we've
little
got
thing
some other ways to do it. So we're working on getting some other tools in the toolbox there.
right, but it's a little bit of that when like when I was telling Absalom or when I told you, it's like there's something that draws me. It is not something I feel I'm doing. It's that 3/4 of him is still in the undertow, is still
Yeah.
there. It's not
Oh.
me. It's just my nature. I'm the scorpion.
I love it. All right, I am going to stop the recording.